Alright, I'm back. So let me check one thing first. Where are my videos? Okay, so chat. How do I clear the chat? Huh? That's not what I wanted. Well, never mind. So let me continue with this thing. Oh, annoying dog! So now what I want to do is draw image within. I don't know how to pronounce that, but something like that. So where is it? Initial. It's going to be draw image, the background, 0, 0. Editor get width, editor get height. So that should show the background. So now on my paint here, image number swap on repaint. So I'm not going to be doing this anymore. So let me check. I can remove all that. Font height, okay. Layer selector is different to do a layer change, that's correct. Then instead of paint background, I'm not going to use that. Let's just comment this out for the moment. Instead, we're going to be using the layer object paint. Then those guys here I'm not going to use anymore. You testing, okay, I'm using. So all these I'm using. Just have to fix the thing, whatever it is. Okay. So now, if the layer object is not a null pointer, just in case, but right at the start, at the editor initialize, I'm doing a layer object equals new this, so it should work. In theory, at least. And by the way, if you're watching before and the stream just cut out because I had some problems here that I have to attend, so I apologize for that. Why it's complaining? Oh, of course. Doesn't know what the plugin editor has. So since I'm relying on the editor, I have to move this to the initial paint. I already created those out, but I have also to initialize it. So let's put this in here, which also makes more sense. Initialize is in there, then the paint just move in there. Initialize paint. And I like to use this annoying formatting, but it's just the way my brain works. If you know me and my story, you would understand. So, okay, so now we're moving this out of the way. And it should compile now. And show the initial image. Or throw a bunch of errors. Fuck. Okay, let me see. Initial layer. Oh, of course. You can't do this in here. You have to do this in here. Okay, that's correct. I find it so amusing when C++ you do one silly mistake and it throws like 200 errors just to panic you out, and then you go try to find it and it's not even in a place it tells you there's an error. It's very annoying. Okay, so it's almost there. So let me revise the paint's override. That's why. So it overrides the initial object class. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And there's an error string. That's why it's showing an error there, but it's not an error. It's just the name of a variable. Oh boy, my computer has 8 cores and it still takes forever to compile. It's still not showing. What's still not showing? Okay, let's revise the whole thing. So I'm passing the editor to the initial layer. Let's compile again because I pressed Ctrl S by mistake. So it's on the data folder, the skins, the skin name. Oh, I forgot this guy. So it's not loading the background. And now it's compiling the whole thing again, just because I pressed Ctrl S on the header file. Sorry about my throat. Now it should work. So great to see you, my background friend. So okay, it's showing the background. Now I just have to add the resizable thingy in there. So on my initialization now, I have to remove a few things. So let's see. The pop-up menu is a global thing. The preset name position should not be in here. It should be now in the main area. Or not. Let me think now. I created a browser, the data selector, the initial. Well, okay, so this could be a global thing because it's going to show almost all the time. So I'm going to leave in there. The display preset I'm not going to be adding and making it visible. I'm just going to make it not even going to add it. Well, I should add it because child component because this is the way I'm adding the component, and if later on I clear the editor, it's going to clear out that guy. But I could do this in another way, which is better actually. I could create a component, a top component, and then I'm going to group these guys here. So I'm going to be creating a component, top component, and a main component. Just in case. So I'm going to be putting the top stuff on the top component instead. So I can go like this, top component. Actually, let's create like this, because there's always going to be those two components. Oops. Component add, oops. Add, and oh, of course, it's not. And make visible the display preset. Now the search component is going to be part of the browser. So I'm not going to be adding here. The start preset component is going to be global. So this way I just go and add. Oops, I just go and do like this. The run on preset can be also part of the top component. Browser options, so it's not going to be there. There is no global and fine tuning here. This is not me here. I'm just going to leave there because I can copy and paste later to the global layer. The layer selector is also part of the top component, and the master volume is also part of the top component. So the add knob, I should be able to tell where to add it. So component, the component, like that. So it should help me out. So I can go and pass like this. The panic button is also part of the top component. Search, yes, it's part 2. Options button is also part. Now these guys here are all part of the preset component. Search close also. Start preset, okay. We move it to the top. Annoying dog. Every single time. The about box, it can be added to the whole thing, because it's a global thing, so I'm not going to be adding to any component. Then we set the size. Have we set and added the resizable thing? Resize. No, it's not there that I'm looking for. Corner. Where is the thing being resize corner? Okay. I'm not going to using this anymore. The constraint I need. So when it's resize, if you resize a corner, no, it's not going to be using anymore. But we need to set the bounds and location for that. So that should do it. But when it gets added, I want to load images. Why it's in there? It should not be in here. And I'm not going to be using this anymore. So let's remove this and move the whole thing. All this should be on the initialization. So initialize. Then we add. So now it should start showing and allow me to resize the whole thing. And I also need to do another change. It's a lot of stuff. Okay, so the resizable is in there. Let's make it very small. Close it. Oh, that's no good. So it's not going to save because it crashed. Okay, I have to see what I'm doing on the destructor. I think that's what's called destructor. So let me check. So those are the stuff I'm not creating. So let me check out one thing. If find a browser, if the file browser has not been created, I don't care about waiting for the thread, because it has an internal thread that I use for searching and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's saving all the information correctly. So right now, if you look, it doesn't look that bad. But if you look here at the D from Vusk AD, as you resize down, it starts looking like crap. There, starts to look very bad, especially text stuff. So that's one of the things that I'm really working hard on improving, is this resizable thing. And the one idea that I had is to create more instances of some of the images that are being used, especially background images, the about box and other images, using a new code that I got that I was using in real time, but it's very slow. Is this resample code here? Oops, that's not what I want to load. This resample code is very good. It was already working, but it's very slow. So instead, I'm thinking on something else. That's why I have the load images call here that I was using, and probably not going to be using on that way. So it's not a big deal. So for now, I'm not going to bother about that. So let me think on another thing. So, okay, so let me check something here. On the paint, I'm doing the layer object paint. If show top area, then we have to also paint the top area background. So for now I'm going to leave commented out. There's a lot of stuff that I have to check and fix. This I can remove. These are used to to create the skin positions. So I'm leaving like that. The paint background, that's one I have to check, but I'm going to check when I start doing the other layers. So for now, let's just leave it like that. Especially because I have the browser stuff here that I want to copy. I have a backup in case I need it. So let me check the positioning here on skin files. So it's going to be background 4. I have one for the FX version and one for the regular version. So this is another thing that I have to worry about. Where is my initialization and then the initial one. So right now I'm loading background 4. So if is effects or just sound effect version, crap, it's going to be file 5 instead. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to put this in here. Otherwise I forget. Dun, dun. Okay. That way I can load either one or the other, depending on the file format. Because I'm going to need 2 files, one for the instruments version and one for the effects version. There is no other way to do that. And so both are going to be the same positioning for this guy here, the options. Just going to make a square for the options. So it's going to be this X and this Y. I have to store this somewhere. Initialize, paint, and resize. So here is the place I'm going to be resizing it. So I need a variable for that, or just I think an on and off component can do that. Let me double check how it works. Oops. Okay, I can use that because it allows me to create without an image, just a transparent image instead. So that I can do and add here options. And of course I have to create this during the initialization. Oops. Well, the initialize is a bit silly because we don't really need initialize. We can do that on the constructor. So name, options, the original size is going to be a point integer. So it's going to be this by this. Is this correct? That's the original size. Images, we don't have one, and not a value either. No tooltips. And we need a resizable factor. Okay, what I'm missing here, let's see. Tooltip extra, no tooltip. Where's my tooltip component? I don't think I can do like that. The tooltip component is the... I forgot the name. I created one, yeah. So let me check on the... I think it's layer change. There's a place I created it. Oh, come on, there's other ones. Oh, here is it, display preset. Text in the display preset. I forgot. So it's display preset, text in display preset. Well, it's complaining now. And the editor. So let's go one by one. Name, pointer, float value, images, tooltip extra, tooltip. Tooltip extra, tooltip text, okay, tooltip component, and resizable factor. Ah, come on, why did I do it wrong this time? The tooltip, the string, the tooltip component, display preset, resize factor, and then the editor. Okay. Of course, I have to add this to the editor now. So it's going to be editor and then make visible options. And I have to put this somewhere, set bounds. Well, it's going to be on resize it ish bounds. Then I have to just get, there's a function I created that does, where is it now? I keep forgetting things. That's why it takes so long to do anything, because, okay, let me get first the positioning. Oh, I got it wrong. That's the X and Y, and this is the size. So it's 2, and this is the positioning. No, it's not like that. That's not correct. So let me check if I created an easier way. Get value resized by factor. So that's the one I'm using. But I think I created one for... No, I didn't create it. Why didn't I create it? Where are we? Well, anyway, so I have to do this. This is going to be the editor. So this is going to resize and put it in the correct positioning. I don't like that, but that's okay. So right now it's not going to do much because we need to set where this is going to be. Let me check one thing first. Okay, on the components. So how it does know what does it call? See, I really don't remember. Let me check mouse. On and off button callback. Okay, that's the one. But so here's the one. On and off callback. So here I have to check when the button was pressed. And for that, I'm going to call this initial options instead. And let me check if this is setting the ID. Let's take a look. Paint, update, mouse it down. No, it's not doing much. Let's look at the components, which is not open. What it does with this string name? Sometimes I forget things. And I forget to add important stuff. So what I'm doing with name? Looks like I'm not doing anything. So let's set component ID initial options, because there is always going to be just one initial options, never two. So I can compare that when the on and off is called. Component, compo, get component ID, compare string equals 0. That's the guy we have. Then we can create a pop-up with some options for the initial area, which is going to allow you to select what to load by default and stuff like that. And also allow me to test the about box. So it should work. The annoying compilation time. But it's a part of programming. So it's not working. Okay. I have to check what I did wrong. So just for testing, so I don't have to create a debug version, I'm just going to create a just so I know that I'm clicking there. So it's nothing's happening, so it's really not clicking. So let me check. I'm adding to the editor the options with that component ID. I call it resize it, add and make visible. I'm adding the correct size. Let me see if I'm loading from the correct file. X and Y. X and Y. Get value resized by factor. So so the initialize is creating, where is it? Here, layer object. I have to check my layer changer if it's not here. I have to bypass this for now because it's going to erase all my parameters and stuff like that. Still not working. So let me try the mouse wheel, just in case. I just noticed that value is no, it's not going to do anything. So mouse down on the component. if editor is not null pointer. Well, let's debug this. So I'm going to put this guy in here, mouse down, then I can check that it's all actually being called. And while it compiles, let me double check. So initialize layer object initial layer, and it passes the guy, and the initial layer is adding the on and off button, and it's passing the editor, which is correct. So okay, it's adding to the editor the options, and then on the editor it continues, add the resizable corner, add a bunch of stuff, and then set size. So it's going to call resized. So let's see, resize interface. Yeah, that looks pretty much correct. I'm pretty sure I'm just overlooking something, because it's really not doing anything. Well, I'm going to take a look at this later on. I'm probably doing something wrong, and I don't know what. And I'm stopping for now. I have to do some other stuff, but tomorrow I'm going to be back. So see you guys later on.